Has my watercolor business failed? No. Has it succeeded? Also, no. I'm 18 months into building the BM Edit, and to be completely honest, I spent the first year doing it totally wrong. I treated this like a passive income dream, the kind you see in the make money while you sleep videos. But 6 months ago, something shifted. I realized that if I wanted people to invest in my art, I had to stop being a hobbyist and start acting like a founder. Today, I'm reflecting on those 18 months, from my first wholesale win to the 60-second success that changed my entire strategy. For a long time, I just posted my art, posted whatever I was working on, and just kind of hoped I would reach success. Everybody else was doing it. It seemed so easy, but I was never getting the same traction. I was never giving people even any information of how to buy my art. I'm a 24-year-old artist working full-time, trying to make this business happen in all the little margins of my day. Like right now, I'm filming this video in the morning before work, just got dressed for work. As soon as I turn off the camera, I'm walking out the door. In March, I hit a wall. I realized that this business wasn't going to work if I kept being passive about it. I had no traction for my first year. In March, I decided to do something about it. I needed an audience to invest in me, not just a pretty picture. Because although you can be very attached to the picture doesn't bring back repeat viewers. In March, I hit a wall. I realized I couldn't just build this business passively anymore. I couldn't just add a few listings to Etsy and hope something would come from it. It didn't work for the first year, so why would it continue working? The big mover in all this is looking at my social media stats month after month and seeing what happened, seeing what was the big mover, and adjusting accordingly. That is probably one of my favorite things to come out of my social media content breakdown videos that I post every month. Although they're not a very popular video, nobody ever seems to really watch them, they've been so helpful for me in getting all of my content figured out a little bit better. I had a bit of a downfall in June. I was out of the country for like a week and a half, and I pre-scheduled all of my content, and I pre-scheduled apparently a lot of bad content because June, my content did not perform. I had been on an uptrend. April's content beat March's, and May's beat April, and then June spiked downwards. July, I am pleased to say, started building back up again. And honestly, everything is so different with my content in August right now that I'm not quite sure what I'm going to be looking at when I review my stats in the next couple weeks. I say all of this just to let you know, growth is not linear. You are going to do something that you think is going to help your social media, it's going to help your business. And it's not. It's going to do the exact opposite of what you think it's going to do. And then you got to think on your feet and re-strategize and figure out what's actually going to work, what's actually going to move the needle. And that has been the hardest thing to continue to think of while I'm focusing on not just my business, but also trying to focus on creating my art as well. Because working a full-time job and basically trying to put a full-time job into the business, it doesn't work. And frankly, I'm hanging on by a thread some days. While I was trying to get some of those sales through the pivot of content strategy, in the last couple months, especially since my June downfall, I've decided to pivot my content strategy and focus more on sales promotion, like promotion of my products, and just showcasing more of that. Instead of just showcasing me like creating art and only showing a piece once, I've tried to post new products and post these different things multiple times in order to reach more people, because people most of the time won't buy something the first time they see it online. But if you keep showing it to them, keep showing it keep talking about it, keep stating different information about it, eventually, when they realize that that's exactly what they're looking for, they'll know where to come. So pivoting that strategy, I feel like has made a little bit of a difference in viewership of my website, but not quite as much pivot to helping my social media stats. Well, I've been working on getting more viewership and getting more people actually wanting to come and check out my products. I stopped waiting for customers. I decided that while I could just sit and wait and hope something would happen, I could also try to work towards reaching those first few customers and getting some income for my business. I started looking for partners, people who invest in me and my business. Starting off, I reached out to 10 local businesses, 10 businesses in the South Mississippi area about purchasing my products wholesale. I have a whole video of how I got my products on Fair, and I've actually talked about this quite a few times. But out of 10 businesses that I reached out to, the first time I reached out to anybody about purchasing via wholesale, one said yes. Robin's Nest in the past. That first wholesale order was a lifeline. It gave me a reason to think, wow, people actually do want to see this. Because I obviously didn't have any proof that people wanted it. I was just taking a shot in the dark every single day, waking up, working on this business. But here's the thing. Although I am so grateful for Robin's Nest in the past for taking a chance on me when nobody else would, I'm still at only one wholesale partner, one wholesale order. My goal for the end of the year is 3 wholesale businesses, 3 wholesale partners by the end of the year. And I'm still chasing the next 2. I started off, and this is kind of how the same strategy I've been using the entire time, is I've just been cold emailing people that not just are in my area, but also in the surrounding states. After getting the sale from Robin's Nest in the past, I still kept reaching out to a few more businesses kind of just outside my local area, to no avail of getting more customers. And then I kind of took a break. I stepped back. I reworked my entire catalog, made it a little bit better, a little bit user-friendly, way better photos, because Lord knows it needed those. And in July, I actually started reaching out to retailers all across the Gulf South, literally from the western edge of Louisiana all the way into Florida, just trying to figure out if anybody wanted to see my products. And I'm hoping that in the next few months I can actually reach those next 2 wholesale orders. But I've had a couple really great conversations with some possible future retailers, but they just weren't buying at the moment. And I'm thinking, I've got quite a few follow-ups because I decided to take a week off of reaching out to all these customers, or possible customers, leads, I guess. I took a week off, and so I'm looking forward to reaching back out to them, because I know June and July are usually a slower month for a lot of businesses, especially in terms of like buying patterns. And with my coastal collection that has already been launched, I'm hoping that as they start getting ready to start buying for the holidays, they'll think of my coastal collection while searching for the perfect piece for their puzzle. So a really great thing that happened, super exciting for me, I got a sale from a stranger on Etsy. I'd already had a couple sales from people that are close to me. One of them being my friend. She ordered a greeting card for her husband because she knew she was needing a card for him for his birthday. And she figured, may as well support my friend. And I'm so thankful for her for that, because she didn't have to do it. She could have just gone to Walmart. But she chose to use my card, my art, for her husband. Anyway, I got my first sale from a stranger on Etsy. Absolutely thrilling. It came in at like 11:30 at night, and I'm so thankful for this person. It sounds a lot like a win, right? Somebody who didn't know me actually purchased from my store. Yeah, not a win. not a win at all. So they bought a sticker, a singular sticker. The payout for it, for reference, the stickers are $4. I was running a sale, a summer sale, so everything was 25% off. So they bought it for $3 plus shipping. Between the Etsy offsite ads and the Etsy fees and everything like that, and then my own production costs for the sticker, I essentially broke even. I made 60 cents on this order. For the amount of stickers I purchased, it equates to about 60 cents per sticker. I mark this up as the MBA moment for my business. One of the things I studied while getting my MBA. I learned this in business school, I learned this in grad school. One of the first things, or one of the main things that's repeated to you is the volume you sell at doesn't matter if the margins are wrong. Although I did make 60 cents, I did make money. Factoring in the cost of goods sold for me, I made none. I essentially had advertising for the business, I guess. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this person decides to come back and actually buy for my business again. But I'm hoping for that. But basically, after I saw that, didn't really love the vibe of being partnered with offsite ads, especially because I thought the sale, like the fee for offsite ads was half of my product cost, essentially, or half of what it was sold for at the time. And I didn't love that. And so I decided to opt out of offsite ads. Has it changed anything about my shop? Not really. I mean, I haven't gotten any more sales from it. But I have instead leaned into Etsy ads, so just like the ads on the platform, and just doing like a simple like $3 a day ads. And I've gone from, I started off with like 10 products, and I've really been narrowing down each week, kind of looking at my stats, what's working, what's not working, and adjusting my products accordingly. I've still yet to make a sale from that. I've spent about $3 in the last 3 or 4 weeks on Etsy ads, still have no sale, but it is really great seeing the products that do seem to be performing and the products that aren't performing as well. And so that's really helped me kind of narrow down what products people actually do want to see that I've created. Now, moving into the website I've built. 18 months ago, I did not have a website. When people would ask what the website was for my business, I would not direct them to something like the bmedit.com like I do now. I would direct them to like my personal portfolio, because I had different services, like different photography services listed on there. I launched the bmedit a month ago. In the last 30 days, Shopify analytics show that I've had about 136 views on my website. And to be completely honest with you, a lot of those are definitely from Shopify's data center, rescanning my website every single time I make a little change. And another good portion of those are for me kind of checking and seeing how the website's looking and if there's anything I need to change. It's a ghost town right now, and I guess that's kind of okay. It is still very early, and I've only really told like YouTube and Instagram and TikTok about my website, and it's a little difficult to get to it from some of these sites. It's been really great seeing that the traffic I have had has been coming from YouTube, which is really great. So people, when I do mention my website, they are clicking the link that's in the description, which if you want to go check it out, link is in the description, as well as the link to my fair, my Etsy, all of my other social channels. Check them out in the description. But traffic is coming from YouTube and from Facebook. Although Facebook, I have not officially launched my website, I have given a couple people some links in the comments of some of the products that I have posted that they seem to be a little bit interested in. And honestly, I feel like those website views are so much more high quality than just somebody Googling my business online and trying to figure out what they see, what they want from it. So one of the ideas I've been thinking of for the last week or so, I've really toyed with the idea, is doing a mail club. I feel like mail clubs are so oversaturated. There's so many mail clubs out there, and I have a little fear that if I do jump to it and I do commit, I will be investing more money into creating a mail club than I'll actually make. It's a little frightening, honestly. I don't just want to sell paintings for over $100 each. I want to have art be accessible for people. That's part of the reason why I started doing greeting cards and postcards and stickers of my art, because that is a simple way you can gift a piece of art to your friend or your partner that reminds you of a place that you've been, or reminds you of something you've seen, or it's simply just like their favorite animal. I wanted that to be accessible at a reasonable price where it could just be a casual part of your life. And that's where I think the mail club would come in and fit perfectly. For my mail club, I actually sat down one evening and did all the research I needed to do, figure out exactly what I wanted my mail club to look like, what I wanted it to have, all of that super duper fun information that you kind of have to figure out before you commit to it. And so I actually have the cost breakdown. I would do a $10 mail club, $10 a month mail club, titled Field Notes or something similar to that. And it would be birding themed. So for me, I actually, at the time this is uploading, I just had a video upload on Wednesday for kind of taking you on a trip birding with me. Not a super crazy video, but just me out on the coast, hanging out with the birds that I enjoy, taking photos of them. And so if birds are something you enjoy seeing, or you just want to learn more about them, let me know in the comments if a mail club is something that you would like to subscribe to. And go sign up to my mailing list on thebmadit.com, so that way you can know immediately when I decide to actually launch this. I'll probably start it off as a wait list, kind of figure out what I'm going to be looking at for my first month. But it's something I'm definitely interested in pursuing. But my goal is to highlight a different bird every month and kind of have the whole package be surrounded in the vibe of that one bird. And not just have like a photo, not just have like a painting of it and a sticker or whatever, but actually a piece of my photography that I took down here on the coast with a painting that I created and a sticker based on another painting, all of that same bird, and then kind of a journal about the bird. Not just my honest thoughts, but also a bit of an educational piece, because I think that is really special. 18 months in, I still feel like I'm doing something wrong each week building this business. But looking back to where I started, it doesn't look like anything I ever envisioned. And honestly, I'm thankful for that. Literally the only thing that hasn't changed is the logo and the colors. I fell in love with that when I first started building it, and I never looked back. But everything else about the business has changed because it's morphed into something real. It's not just trying to figure out what's going to work and making money passively. No, not anymore. I've taken an active role in building this, and I can't wait to see what it looks like a year from now. If you're in the early stages of building a business, stay competitive, stay humble, and keep building. I'll see you again next week, and mark your calendars for September 21st when I am launching my Coastal Christmas card collection.